Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Friday, March 4th, 2022. I am Sally Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Say welcome, Catisha, and welcome, Frankie. And I do hope everyone is having a good day today. Okay, I'm going to get started. So let me stop this music here and we will get started. Okay, everyone, welcome. So today we are going to talk about children and family services. And even though I have a guest today, I want to know, does the Department of Children and Family Services, wherever you are, whatever it's called in whatever state you're in, or whatever place you are across the globe, do they help or do they destroy families? And as I said in my opening for the show, that children are separated from parents every day. Is it always justified? And I do want you to welcome Catisha Mabins or Collier, who has asked to share her story. Welcome, Petty Deb. So I am going to give Catisha the mic, and she will spend about 10 minutes or so telling her story. And then if we have questions or whatever, we'll open it up. So Catisha, one moment. Let me give you the mic here. Okay, and okay, I see you are on, but I don't see you on my panel. Let me try this again. Okay, I don't like when this happens. Okay, Catisha, can you go out and come back in because I am not seeing you. I mean, I see that you're on speaker, but you're not showing up on my panel. So if you can go out and then come back in. All right, let's do this again.
Hello?
There you are. There you are. Now I see you.
All
Okay,
right.
everyone. This is Catisha, and Catisha, you have the mic.
Okay, I'm Catisha, last name Mabins or Collier. Collier is my maiden name. I have three children that were taken from me June 28th, 2021. I went to go babysit a friend of mine's son. She begged me. I really didn't want to babysit the little boy because I'm not used to being with other people's kids. And then she had a jungle in her house, so I didn't want to bring her animals to my home. So I ended up saying yes and ended up staying in her home to watch her son. Um, she had one rule that was her son, if anything happened to the cat, that she would take the cat back. She got to Connecticut that day she left. She called me back and she said that her flight back home had been canceled. Her flight back home turned into a wedding, a family reunion, and a graduation, and she had now been gone for 2 weeks. So I took her son to eye therapy on a Wednesday. Her son came in and he picked the cat up and he swung the cat around by the tail. When he swung the cat around, I said, put the cat down. That's not cool. So I went upstairs to go pack my things because I was returning home and I was going to bring him to with all my other three children. My daughter's birthday was that Friday. Didn't turn out that way. My sons were calling me from downstairs, upstairs, Mom, Mom,
Okay,
Mom, Mom.
Katisha, let me stop you for one moment. You're talking a little fast. Can you slow down just a little bit?
They were like, "Mom, come get him. Come get him. He's beating up the cat." So I go downstairs. This little kid is choking and smacking the cat, talking about "bee bite me, bee bite me." So I asked him nicely to stop. So my son, who goes to her home every week, and he calls her and he inboxes her on Facebook and he tells her, what's going on with the child and the cat. So she calls me on my phone. She's really nasty. "Oh, well, da 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 da. I believe my son." So when she said she believed her son, I told her to go find somebody, that she would have to find somebody else to watch her child. Um, she called somebody to pick up her son, and I left the home. On the way to my home, I got a phone call from my son's aunt telling me that she was going to call Department of Social Services on me and tell them that I had no lights. That was fine with me. That Friday, I got a text message from Department of Social Services saying that they were going to that they wanted to see me. In the process of all this, my husband and I had been having a conversation about bringing my daughter to Connecticut because we do this every year. A rental car for him was over $1,000. So my cousin ended up getting a rental car to go pick up her nieces and nephews. So I actually sent my daughter off on her birthday. I mean, I didn't think nothing of social services coming to check on me because I ain't have no lights. I just don't gotta let my door, open my door. I'm not no bad parent. I don't abuse my children. That following Monday, on June the 28th, I got a few text messages and a few phone calls to my phone with people screaming and yelling that DSS was down the street taking my children from a pool that they were playing at. I got down there and it turned into a big emotional thing. And when I finally heard the story, this young lady said that my son had been touching my daughter and that I'm very aware of it, that my son had touched her son, that I beat on my children severely. When the kid that she brings to her house, he smells awful and things like that. I'm still trying to figure out how my son touched her son and you left him with me. But so Department of Social Services, they gave me my first initial court date. My first initial court date said that I know my children could speak to each other. My oldest son would be enrolled into virtual classes and that he would not be going to public school with other children because he had been a sexual predator. August came around, they canceled court dates, canceled court dates. They canceled court dates and they changed my social worker. So I had a new social worker. I never even met the first social worker. I've never even met DSS workers, period. I've had my first initial, the virtual court date was the first time I seen the DSS investigator. And after that, I've never seen anybody else from DSS. Um, my oldest son had been placed in a home that was not properly assessed by DSS, where he was beat, drugged, allegedly drugged. He had no door in his hinges, and he was in the process of wanting to run away. He went to one of his schoolmates' house, and from that point, the guardian ad litem and we'd been speaking every day. And she didn't tell me, that I saw that my son didn't have no door in the hinges because we would video chat. We would sneak and video chat. But she said that, if I made a plan to have him placed with my aunt, that he would go to my aunt. They told my son he was going to my aunt. My son said when he woke up in the back of the van, he was at a foster home. The following Monday after that, my son had been in Columbia, South Carolina, because him and the boy decided to take flight at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then DSS finally contacted me at 11. That Wednesday of the week my son was on the run, I found out from my caseworker that there were no findings in my case, but after over 3 months of drug testing my son, they found cocaine in his system. So they were punishing me with the fact that drugs were in his system after a certain amount of time. So I've not seen anybody from DSS. My son got away from the foster home and ended up with my aunt. And since then, DSS has not been in my home. They don't call me. I've called them initially from the beginning. I started calling and going to the drug rehab places in the parenting classes. And when I got there and they would run my name through the computer, they would pick up the phone and they would say, well, you're not allowed to come in until DSS refers you. So the very last time I brought somebody with me, okay? And she decided to check in with me. They let her in, they didn't let me in. I've still not yet had my caseworker pick up the phone and call me. I've not had anybody call me. I filed constituents. I've grieved them several times. I've had people text me and tell me my kids' whereabouts were none of my business, that I'm a horrible mother. this, that, and the third, like the system themselves. And half of them, I mean, I don't even know who they are. I don't know what place they're supposed to play in my life, you know. And now here it is again, this guardian ad litem. She goes to court in October and she makes the motion that all three of my children be placed in foster care. Now, as a guardian ad litem, that's the person who's supposed to speak in your child's best interest. There's no way that my child's best interest was to have all his siblings placed in foster care, especially when his sister's all the way in Connecticut. But that's what she thought. So she'd gotten into some type of chaos with what was going on with me, and she had to take a leave off work. And when she came back, it was right around my birthday, which was January the 27th. She had told my aunt that my son had been with me, that I was manipulating him to tell her that that he no longer wanted her to be his guardian ad litem. So that's and they put my son on punishment. When they put my son on punishment, they took his technology. When he got his cell phone back, his Cash App on his cell phone had been closed down. So I called Cash App to find out what was going on. Cash App said that his mother had called in and closed down his account. I didn't do any of that. And it's still like, I mean, DSS has done nothing. The court system has done nothing. I'm sitting here. I have three kids. My kids are actually supposed to be living in the same house, whether it's with family or with me. They're supposed to be living in the same home. They won't even put my children in the same home. My sons, my sons are bickering back and forth. It's just like a lot of stuff. And right now, I mean, even speaking about it, it feels like just yesterday that all of this happened. It's really emotional to me. Um, it's a lot, man. And when it comes down to a system, the system is supposed to actually help. And I'm reading their motto, helping put families back together. I mean, after over 227 days, and my kids and I have been separated, we've not been in the same place at the same time. And that's always been us before these 227 days got here. Now we're not together. My kids are bickering back and forth. It's a painful thing for me, you know, because when you're innocent and somebody tells you that you have to come to an agreement, they tell you they have no findings in your case, but you have to come to an agreement. If I come to an agreement, that means my son's a sexual predator, which Connecticut gave my daughter a pap smear and a polygraph for at 7. She got a pap smear and a polygraph before she lost her 2 front teeth, okay? She's 7 years old. No one should have been able to do that to my baby. And now I have to, when they finally do come back, if they even try to bring them back, I have to deal with all of that on me.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me read some of the comments that we have here. Um,
I can't afford an attorney. I'm not going to tell you no lie. $4,000, $5,000 retainer fee. That is very hard for a single mother like me.
okay, that was one of the questions that Frankie has. And Frankie also wanted to know, she wanted to know, was your son in Connecticut or South
My,
Carolina? Okay, Catisha has muted herself, so we will wait a moment. And I am going to invite other people onto the panel if anyone has any questions that you may want to ask or provide any advice. But Katisha, welcome back. Does Frankie wants to know, was your son in Connecticut or South Carolina?
I have two boys. They're both in South Carolina. My son ran away from the foster home in Chester, South Carolina, which is 2 hours away from Columbia, which is home.
Okay, but when the situation was reported, because
We
you
all
were kind of going, was it Connecticut or South Carolina?
we all live in South Carolina. Only person's in Connecticut is my daughter.
Okay, so who ordered the medical examination for your daughter? Was it Connecticut or South Carolina?
What South Carolina did was they sent out, I guess, their referral because what they tried to say was that I tried to kidnap my daughter because she was the victim. Okay, so they tried to say that I tried to get my daughter out of here. So I called Department of Children and Family Services and I asked them if, were they going to collaborate with South Carolina? And they said they were glad that I called. They were going to collaborate and help me get myself situated. I did not.
Okay, Katisha, you are muted. Okay, we lost Katisha here for a moment. Let's see if we can get her back.
I'm
Okay,
here.
Katisha. Okay, no, you're. I don't know if you put something by mistake, but you were muted. So, okay, so that's how Connecticut got involved because of South Carolina.
Right,
Okay, all right,
right.
okay. So, in telling your story, there are a couple of things. I know before the show, the two of us talked, and you told me a bit more than what you're telling now. But let me ask this. First and foremost, what is going on with the woman who first reported the story and said who initially started this? Has an investigation been done on her? What has been going on with her?
Really telling you, it doesn't want me to be here.
But if she filed a false report, then is that in your records at all that this woman, has that you're claiming that she filed a false report? So is she being investigated at all that you know of? Okay, let's see. Your mic, Katisha, your mic keeps going in and out. So I don't know if you're aware of that because you're muted. Okay, we'll wait for Katisha to come back. Dude, did you have any questions or want to comment? And welcome to the show.
I do. It's been a while. Thanks for having me on, especially with the content like this. I first wanted to start off by saying, Katisha, we love and support you here on the program. I've never met you personally, but we have faith in you and what you're telling us. I know for a fact I've heard countless stories similar to this, to these kind of horror stories. These, this is like corporation. This is what I feel like you're having trouble to say. It will not discredit you if you flat out discredit um, these people. They make false claims. They have a they run these places like a business, and they ruin children's lives. Typically, when they do what they're doing to your children, the children are exposed to more traumas. And this has been ongoing for a long time, and it is one of the horrible, worst things that goes on in the United States of America. I don't have any questions for you. I just wanted to come on and let you know that even though I have not met you, that we all love you and that God loves you. And even if that doesn't help you out through today, just know that you are in our prayers and your children are as well. And that my hope and prayer is that one day we can do something about this, because this is garbage and we cannot continue to do this to our children. They need us so much. Uh, we already ruined this world. These children don't deserve it. They didn't do anything. Look what we did to the world at large right now. These kids don't deserve this. I don't have any questions for you. I just wanted to come to let you know that we love you. Thank you so much.
All right, Jude. Thank you. But Jude, let me ask this from you because, like I said, Katisha and I we had a conversation, and and I was asking her about excuse me, about an attorney and what have you. And, as she indicated, she did not have the funds to hire, an attorney to properly address, the situation. So do you have any advice or anything, where she could possibly turn to, that can actually give her real help as opposed to just, she's just another number?
I personally I don't, but from a men's point of view, my men's programs, they're to a lot of times, like guys going through divorce, they will unnecessarily take the children in this kind of way. and they really have your back against the wall, to say the least, because when you go to file complaints like that, I mean, you're filing with and against the people that are strong arming your children in the first place. And let me also add that these types of organizations are known for getting the same amount of money each year that they required for the year before. So you can, it's not right, but that's what a lot of times is governing their decisions on their end. I wish I had better answers for you. I'm sorry. But we are going to get awareness that these organizations are crooked and corrupt. And if we fixed anything about our country, I believe that would probably, if we could only fix one thing, that would be it. This is a modern day, this is another tentacle of the human trafficking that we have today. And I wish I did. I really wish. I wish I was there to bust their ASS. I do, right in the cranium. I do.
Okay. Great. Thank you, dude. Katisha, so where are you right now in the system in terms of, again, you first told me this story last week, but where are you in the system right now? Do you have
Just
another court date? I mean,
I don't. I don't even have a court date. The worker that I have. Okay, so they change workers every 90 days so that you can, so that one worker probably missed, another one will probably find. Okay, so I've had the same caseworker since August. Now he's not been changed or anything. He still has not been into my home. The only time I seen him was that Friday they came to pick up my son. Now this guy, he goes all the way 2.5 hours away to go see my son, but doesn't come here where he works at and I live. Okay. He does not pick up the phone, no anything. The initial case where I was so confused in my whole case period, I thought that the lady who I was talking to was my son's foster mom because one of my boys ended up going into a foster home, um, and that the person who was the investigator was my caseworker. None of that was true. I didn't even find that out until August the 26th, with a clinical social worker who's supposed to be putting together she's supposed to be putting together like family meetings and things like that. I found out from her when she dropped out of my case because she said they were doing absolutely nothing. So where I'm at right now is just right here. I mean, listen, I took whatever money I got just today for my taxes. I took and paid for an attorney. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a full payment. It's partial. You know what I'm saying?
well, this is what I'm not understanding. And again, I don't work for the Department of Family Services or anything, and I know that each state does things a little differently, but I think they all basically do things the same, if that makes sense. And I know that there are guidelines that they're supposed to follow. And I guess what's bothering me the most is, listening to what you're saying, is the fact that they take your children away. You don't have a date to go before the judge where you can tell the judge your story and let them hear from you. And at the same time, the judge is not hearing from your children. Your children would be able to tell the judge, mommy did this to me, mommy didn't do that to me, and they're not getting that opportunity. So even though they say that, they're doing everything for the children, you're not, and they're not, meaning your children, they are not getting the opportunity to go before the person who can truly make a decision and truly help them. So I'm thinking, and I could be totally wrong, and I told you this, I'm thinking that that alone is, your rights have been violated, and the children's rights, because again, they have not had a chance to tell their story. And like Dude says, they're in a system now that's going to harm them more than help them. So um you know have you talked to the caseworker who is on your case now, and have you brought these things to their attention, stating that, you're violating my kids' rights?
They don't care. I've done that already. Listen, I'm telling you something. Right now, I am in the process of. I've been sending out emails for the past month. And I don't care if I send the emails out to the same person over and over again, somebody's going to give me some answers. I've been sending people, it's past the state for me, okay? I've written the Ethics Commission, the Department of Justice, the Better Business Bureau. Anybody that has a seal, I don't care if you're a nonprofit agency, I'm sending out emails, emails, emails. I've got my court documents to where my kids' names are scratched out of them. The people who are in these things, names are scratched out of them. It's just my name in it. And I'm sending them out, and I will do it until I get answers.
Well, Katisha, this may sound silly, and again, you're saying that have gone to various places, anyone with a seal, but have you ever thought about filing a police report saying that they kidnapped your children?
That was the first thing I did. I did that already. I've been there. Listen, I filed a police report, told me that they kidnapped my children. You know what the police told me? They told me that I had they told me it was BS. Yes, they did. I caught. Listen, I just and then the most recent thing I've gotten was a phone call from the senator. That's the most recent thing I've gotten so far.
And you're in South Carolina, so did that senator
Katrina,
help you at all?
I don't know. She said she's looking into it. She called me and because she advocates for things like this. She called me and she said that she would get back to me by Tuesday.
Okay, okay, so you're making okay, okay. So, has anyone else from her office reached out, or you're just gonna wait to see,
I'm wa- I'm
what the results are?
gonna wait until Tuesday. Throughout all this, I've had no patience. I'm gonna be as patient as I can right now. I got about 22 months to get myself together, not get myself together to figure out what it is. I'm already in the process of where my kids are gonna go because before I let them take it from me, I will give it up. Okay. I will not let them take my right from me as a mother. I will give it up, and my kids can go. Once my kids belong to my uncle or whoever they go to in my family, they can see their mother at any given time. So that means they'll come right back home with me.
And that was the original, plan that you were told that your children would go to a family member as opposed to foster care?
The original plan was that all my kids had to be separated anyway because they thought that they were gonna BS and tell a lie and stuff like that. Okay, they had to be separated. Once they had the forensic assessment, which was supposed to be done within the first week of having my children, which they did not do until October and December, because that would have allowed us to even speak to each other. Okay, but if they would have did those things properly, we would have been speaking to each other. I would have been had visitation. I'd have been on these things.
Okay, so your children were removed, in June, and they did not do those assessments until October and December. So I'm assuming one was for your daughter and the other one were for your two sons?
After no, listen, the two sons were the one who they did in October and December. The two sons were who they did in October and December. My daughter had been done already. Connecticut went into my husband's house once and they never went back.
So have you reached out to senators in Connecticut?
I mean, it's nothing that they can do for me because I have a South Carolina court case. It's nothing that they can do.
Right, but they still did the medical assessment on your daughter though, correct?
That's not helping me. That's not helping me any because if DSS is not speaking to me, who I'm supposed to talk to? I've reached out to the judge. The judge has not reached out back to me. I've sat on steps trying to get my children back. I mean, like literally sat on these people's steps to get my kids back, and nothing's happened. They
Okay.
told me initially in the beginning when I was calling and asking them what I could do. The initial thing that they told me was, well, when we cross that bridge, Mrs. Mabin, we'll get there. When we find something, Miss Mabins, we'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is it that I can do to get my kids back? Well, when we find something, Miss Mabins, we'll tell you. Not until my son ran away, you guys told me there were no findings.
All right. Petty Deb wants to know, have you tried legal aid? If nothing
I
else,
tried.
conduct another investigation.
Listen, I've tried them too, but listen, my half a payment, I have another 4 weeks before I got to pay another $200. So I'm just gonna what I got right now is what I got. You know what I'm saying? But I rather blow my last dime on having my kids home than to blow my last dime on anything else. I'm not. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not well. emotionally and mentally right now, not having my kids, I'm not well. If there's nothing else that I wanted to do in life, I always wanted to be a mother. Being a princess wasn't my thing. And I've not, and there's no such thing as a perfect parent. I've never been, there's no such thing. There's no handbook. There's no list to what a perfect parent is. Every day you learn something new. Only thing I ever wanted to be was a good mother to my children. And I am that. But for them to just be taken away and to get kidnapped, they got my kid. They holding my kids for ransom and got me held hostage with a gun in my head, telling me when we find something, we'll get there. But until we break your spirits, we'll let you know what we'll do for you. Until we get you to agree that you're a bad parent, I'll be put on a registry just as bad as and I'll be just as bad as a sex offender once that happens. Okay, that's the next thing. I'll be just as bad as a sex offender once that happens.
So the bottom line is, once you come to this quote unquote this agreement that they want, then you're saying that they'll return your children. But because you
Oh no,
refuse to
they
come
didn't even
to,
give me that. They didn't even give me that because at the severity of the case, they can TPR me. Okay. Once I come to that agreement, they can terminate my parental rights the day I say yes. This I am that type of parent. You understand what I'm saying?
okay.
Because of the severity of the situation, if I say I agree with those lies, you can't be their mother no more because you just admitted that you did wrong.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
I mean, I'm willing to take a risk on it before I jump into that fire.
So because you have not been able to go before a judge and no one is really telling you anything, you really don't know what to do. I mean, literally, you're just, like you said, you're waiting for this the senator that you wrote to get back to you, because you really just don't know.
I don't know anything. I mean, I'm just as confused as I was when I heard the story. You understand what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot for me to. And I don't come from, listen, I come from a culture where we are called African Americans, where we are black people. I felt like one black woman woke up one morning and said, I hate the black woman. I was her target and my children were collateral damage. Now my children are suffering more mental anguish than they were when they were with this black woman who says that who was blamed for letting her child. If my children ever went through anything sexual, listen, violating a person's personal space to me is the worst thing that you could ever do. I was violated my life as a child growing up. I could not wait to get out of that situation. Okay. Listen, and it may sound bad, and nobody may not agree with me, but this is how I live my life. If my kids, if any one of my kids, boy, girl, cat, dog, come home and ever sexually violate anybody, they don't got to worry about my name being on their birth certificate because that's the thing that broke my life. Okay, that's the thing that pained me. So my children already know how I feel, and I'm very black and white about violation of a person's personal space because it's days that I get to hug my children or my children want to hug me, and I'm not comfortable. I feel ashamed letting my kids hug me because I have that dirt of somebody touching me as a child on me, okay? I don't feel like I love them enough with my body because somebody violated me. So I wouldn't let my children, no, you can't live, you couldn't even live with me like that. They would have had to take my son in the first place. I wouldn't know what it's like. I don't want to know what it's like to have that much power over my predator. Why? I would never, he would have to leave. I don't want that. I don't want that around me. I don't want to be around people. I mean, and I don't know who you are. I'd rather not know you personally if that's who you are. I don't want to know anybody like that because I'm devastated by that thing, those things, actions happening to me in my life. And now here I am, 39 years old, and I lose my kids behind something of the such. That makes it even worse to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the thing that hurt me the most is hurting me again, and it's not even true this time.
Well, Katisha, let me ask this, and I'm going to go back to the woman who originally filed this false report, that initiated this entire thing. Can you go to the police or anyone at all just on her?
Nobody knows who she is. She made an anonymous complaint.
So let me ask this again. And again, I know we first spoke to each other last week. Have you thought about what I asked you before about possibly going to find an attorney who, is new? a brand new attorney just got their license who wants to get their chops in, whatever, who may just in order to open up a door for you, and you'll have someone, to represent you. Have you thought about going to someone like that?
That is what I spent my day doing today. I've been spending my weeks. Listen, I walk and send out emails. I am not just sitting here on my bed sending out emails. Listen, I have classes to attend. I have work to do. And I'm trying to get my children home. My day is very full. My feet hurt. I feel like I've been running track all day long in one spot. I've been walking to take care of my business. I've been down to everybody's legal aid, any office that says that they take pro bono cases. I've been given. Listen, I typed up my situation on my own, out of my own words. I went to the library, I printed it out, I took copies, I stapled together my section of paper, my stack of papers for each person who I dropped it off to. And that's what I did today. Put it in an envelope and dropped it off. Put it in an envelope and dropped it off. Now, then I got a checklist of those people who I did that to, who I've done that to. And on that checklist, next week, when the business week starts Monday, after my classes are done at 10:15, I will start calling those people and seeing who's seen and can you see, can you look, can you see, can you look, can you help me?
Okay.
That I mean,
Um,
a lot of footwork. It's a lot of footwork. And when you say you give up so much money to get your children back home, how are you taking care of your home once that's all said and done? The home that those children have to come back to, that they need to find deemed fit for those kids to come live in. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. I am one person. I have my husband, and I kid you not, that one man right there. He's stand up co-parent. My oldest son had to deal with his my oldest son and my youngest son. They've had to deal with putting backing off from their dad. My oldest son was too upset with his dad because his dad calls him on his birthday and not on the son's birthday. Neither one of the children did he call on his birthday, but when he called the son on his birthday, he started to talk about me. And my son said, "No, you can't do that. My mom has been nothing but good to me. She does not talk about you." And I refuse to talk about him. If I can co-parent with my husband, I can co-parent with him too. It's not me on this case, okay? I've done everything that I can to try to keep this man in his kids in these boys' life. And if he better his relationship with me, because it's not about arguing and bickering all the time. It's not about calling somebody a name. Help is help, okay? I almost lost my life in 2017 because for 30 days he had my boys and he didn't want me to have them. When I went to go get them, his wife cut me down my back. And if I wouldn't have reached down, she would have stabbed. My guts would have been hanging out in front of my children. Okay, I can't and I can't sit here and tell my boys, oh, your dad's not this, your dad's not that, because every time I open my mouth to tell those boys that the man I laid with to make them is not shit, they're 50% of that. Okay, that my 50% is in him, and so is his. So I'm not gonna sit there and tell my kids who I love more than anything in this world that they not cracked just like they daddy. I refuse to talk about him. I say nothing but good about him because I still love I love the guy. We made two beautiful boys together. Why wouldn't I still love you? If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here. We don't gotta be together. I don't care nothing about that. Let's be parents. I've never asked for nothing from you other than to be there for your boys. I'm already a statistic. Why keep making me another one? Why keep making us another one? Love your children. That's the main thing. Love, love, love. You don't gotta deal with me at all. I don't care. But don't make it seem like that you can't co-parent with me to make sure those boys live a healthy life. And when I say healthy, that doesn't mean just food. Okay?
Okay, let me stop you for a moment because Mimi is on and I want to hear what she has to say. Maybe she has something that that would be able to help. Mimi, welcome and thank you for waiting patiently.
I'm not sure the whole story. I just came in on um, kind of towards the end, but if you can kind of give me a little rundown.
Basically, Katisha's children were taken from her last June because of a false report, and there's been no court case. I mean, I'm sorry, she has not been before a judge. Her children have not been before a judge. Um, there's been no investigator that's come out to her house. Um, you know, any medical evaluations were done in October and December, and we're talking about the state of South Carolina. And basically, the bottom line is her case is not moving. No one's telling her anything. She cannot get before a judge. No one, she doesn't have the funds to hire a private attorney, and she's been calling everywhere and going everywhere to get help in order to get her children back.
Right, but what was the case? That she did something or somebody
Yes.
cheat?
Was that my okay? The family friend, my son's best friend, I didn't want to watch her son no more because her son lied on me. He's 8 years old. Okay, now he's 8, and at the time I was 38. I'm 39 now, and if you can believe an 8-year old over me being grown, and you left him in my care, he has to go somewhere else. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's the bottom line. So when I said that to her that he had to go somewhere else, she decided to argue and bicker with me because she believed her son. Okay, no problem. I'm going home. That's just it. So she called the friend, my son's aunt, and told them that she was going to call the people on me. She said she was going to tell them my lights were off. She didn't do that. She told them that my son had been touching my daughter. My son had touched her son. Now you left your son with me for 2 weeks. I'm over here running the kitty porn, and you gonna leave your son with me for 2 weeks?
But this all started because, and I'm not trying to be funny, but it all started because of the cat.
No, well, her son lied. She said she believed her son. The cat can't
No,
do
no, no,
nothing.
no, 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 no. I'm saying, but it started because you guys said that she was abusing the cat, right?
He was abusing the cat. Yes, he was.
Right.
Right.
So it all started because of the cat, and the son, her son, went back and said, "No, I wasn't doing this," and she said that she believed her son over you. So I mean, because basically, this is how it started, over the cat.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so um I've had so who came, they didn't do no evaluation when they came over to your house. Did they
What?
talk to your son and stuff?
What did they do? They took my kids right out of here, honey. They didn't do anything.
So they didn't ask no questions, nothing. They just came in there.
No, they didn't even take my kids from the house, honey. My kids were at a neighboring apartment complex swimming with their friends and their cousins. They took my kids from there. When I came outside, because my phone started blowing up and stuff, and they said my neighbors and stuff was telling me that my kids were being taken. I got down there. They were standing in front of the apartment complex, and Department of Social Services, two City of Columbia Police Department investigators, and a city police officer was standing down there. The caseworker had my eldest son by the hand, and my youngest son had my eldest son by the hand. And I went down there. I chopped my oldest son's hand, my oldest son's arm, and the release from the caseworker, and then my youngest son ran off. Now the investigator grabbed my youngest son by the collar of his shirt and jacked him back, and my oldest son had hit her with a basketball.
Oh
Now
yeah,
we
they had me all fucked up. I'd have had to. Listen. I'd have burnt the fucking state down. I promise you, if
because
my
I'm
man made me.
and I'm trying not to, and I'm trying to be calm because I'm
Fuck
really
that calm. Let me tell you something. Fuck that calm. I got a daughter, and I had somebody call on me before, and they supposed to come and do a search, and they supposed to ask your kid questions. They supposed to question a child. They supposed to question you. I do have somebody that can help you. And they don't charge any money, and they have actually just recently gotten somebody out of jail um for murder. He was charged with murder. So I can send you over her information. She be on my live sometimes, so I can send you over her information. She's really good. It's a team of them. They were a detective. She was a detective, and the other guy was a police officer. But now they just helping people that are wrongfully convicted and things like that in your case. So I'm definitely gonna get in touch with her when I get off of here, and I'm gonna send her your information if you want to send it to me. But yeah, because they got you fucked up and they got me fucked up. So now I'm pissed off about that shit. That shit would have had, man. Listen, uh,
listen in the weekend, right? The
mm.
weekend that they took
Okay, before you go on, Katisha, do you want to put your information in the chat so Mimi would be able to have it?
that is not a problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
so she'll be able to have it.
Not a problem at all. I'm just, it's too much. The separation anxiety for me is just like, I'm just, I cry a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I try to trick myself into believing that this is normal, even though it's not. But if I don't, I'm gonna drive myself crazy. I don't like to go outside because I don't like to see other people interacting with their children. I don't like to see the kids getting off the bus. You know what I'm saying? Because when my son's friends and my sons and daughters' friends get off the bus, I expect my kids to walk behind them and they don't. You know what I'm saying?
How
I
old
mean,
is your kids?
12, 11, and 7.
Hold on. I'm writing this lady right now. Hold on. I'm finna give you her name and stuff. Hold on, real quick. Let me get her up.
So, Katisha, just while Mimi is doing that, just to ask, is there anything else in the story that you have not left out? That you can fill in,
I
whatever.
My
That
son's
so
guardian light has been very attacking to him. She sent emails. Well, I can't say specifically that it was her, but I know my son was in Chester because he logged onto his Instagram from the Fire Stick at the foster home, and it hit my phone. I have all my children's emails in my phone, so when they do anything on social media, it comes right to my phone and it dings. So my son logged in and he was in Chester. Now I saw that my son was in Chester when he would send emails, but for us to communicate, we had something that we did before we communicate because we really weren't supposed to. And the person that contacted me didn't do that. So I looked up the IP address. The IP address was down here in Columbia, while my son's was in Chester, and it was actually hitting like kind of like North Carolina. But the IP address from Columbia, it was hitting here like they were trying to communicate with me, and they didn't answer the question either. You know what I'm saying? And they denied that. They won't let that. My son didn't want this lady as his guardian ad litem since August. She's still his guardian ad litem. Here it is, March. You know what I'm saying? And my son's in Conway, and
Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
case.
whoa, 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 whoa. So let
Yes,
me rewind. These people have guardianship over your kids already, and you didn't
no,
sign off on shit.
a guardian ad litem is no, a guardian ad litem is a person who's supposed to speak in your child's best interest. Okay, they're like they're supposed to be my children's friends, and they're supposed to speak the adult form of what the child speaks to them. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to spend time with them, get to know them, things like that.
Okay, okay,
She's not one of those good people because she in October after my son had ran away from the group home in the truck with a 16-year-old. Okay, because they stole the truck and they ran away at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't get a text message till 11.
yeah, but they did that to get away from the foster home.
Yes, ma'am, they did. They left the foster home. They had no cell phone, no nothing. My son was on Two Notch Road when I found him. Okay.
okay. Listen, I took a screenshot. The lady name that I'm going to send her information. Her name is Tam. Um, so it is okay for me to send your information to her, and I'm gonna
Yes.
reach out to you too. Um, her
Okay,
name is Tam
maybe
though.
I did send you something in chat, in Twitter chat, so you'll be, or whatever, so you'll be able to get that.
Okay.
And I'm so
Okay.
I, like before all of this, my son, I come from this. I walked myself into the system as a child because I had nowhere to turn to. My dad brought me down here, and it wasn't like that for me. You know what I'm saying? My children have me, and I try to go to bat for my children. So the system, and it's like they're trying to. My 12-year-old, it's like they're trying to force him in there because they know he's gonna run. They put him on punishment. You know what I'm saying? They put him on punishment and they take his phone. His Cash App account is closed. They say, I closed his Cash App account. I didn't close his Cash App account. I didn't pay all that money and then have a notarized letter for him to have one if I was going to close it. But when y'all took his phone, the Cash App account was up and running. When he got it back, it was down. It was closed, and they said that his mother did it. I did not.
Okay, can I ask you a question? And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm just trying to get all the information due. Have your kids said anything to them?
No, my kids said that they want to come home. All my children are saying that they want to come home. The people who they're with saying that my kids are just trying to come home. You know what I'm saying? My kids, when I asked them for the forensic assessments and the drug results for my children, they told me that they lost them. How do you lose computer work? I'm just trying to figure that out because most things are database and put in the database of a computer. You know what I'm saying? So how do you lose computer work? You guys don't have this. You lose information like that. That's very vital. And I'm supposed to have that in my possession as their parent. You know what I'm saying? Whether they said anything good or bad, you know what I'm saying? And if they did say something bad, I wouldn't be able to visit them. I'm supposed to be visiting my son. All my children are supposed to be visiting them. The parent that has my middle child, she won't let me see my son. She told him not to talk to me. She got mad with me over filing my son on my taxes. You know what I'm saying? My two sons were bickering, and I sent her a text message. Let's, get these kids together. She sent me a text message back telling us some FYI, whoever filed your son on their taxes is gonna have to pay the IRS back. You would have never known that we were friends before this happened because you didn't get my son till August the 13th. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the mental health and the stability of my children's relationships right now.
Oh, this.
Yes, they
I had a friend that got her daughter was taken away from her, and they gave her daughter back dead. So this type of shit, I really don't like. Excuse my French, but I really don't like this kind of and having a child of my own. Um, so I am gonna do the best that I can to get them to help you. But
I'm shaking. I hate
I
this.
just there's no way in the hell they should have took them without your consent, especially going to take them from somewhere else. They didn't even take them out of your custody. They went and got them from somebody else. That's
They went
crazy.
and picked them up at school.
Well, well then Mimi, I mean, well, let me back up for a moment. Katisha reached out to me and she asked if she could use, my show as a platform to tell her story. And we did talk. And of course, I said yes because she's telling her story. And the whole thing was if she could reach at least, one person. And Mimi, you were that person that she was able to reach that was, able to possibly move the football a little further down the field. So Katisha, I have given Mimi your information, and hopefully, Mimi can reach out to you, and the two of you all can talk, and hopefully, between Mimi and the senator that you're waiting to call you back on Tuesday, that something will happen.
Yeah, because that's some bullshit. Just the whole story alone. That right there, I've never heard that in my life. They was not supposed to
Off
take
of
her.
it either. You know what I'm saying? My son, the home that they put my son in, they improperly assessed it. It was a career criminal living in here who beats on children. That's in his criminal record from the state of Connecticut. They only assessed his aunt and her daughter. It was two other adults living in a home, and then my son's in there with no door on the hinges. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and he's placed on punishment. But they said that my son would be going to virtual school because he was a sexual predator. Now in August, when school first started, he went to the pre week for school, and he went to school right then and there. And the caseworker put him in school until my child ran away. A week in October, that Wednesday, they told me there were no findings in my case. But now here it is, all these days later, you say you found drugs in my son's system. It's over 90 days that you find drugs in my son's system, but you're holding me for that. But you have no findings in my case, period. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
My daughter has had to be to a OBGYN before her time. When you mess with a child's body like that, that damages them when their hormones are tampered with before their body can grow into them, okay? I've been there. I am that child. I see my daughter suffering my pain, the sins of her mother, and my son too. All of my children are suffering from my sins, and I get it. But at the same time, who would do this to somebody? And
But when you
what's
say suffering, okay, but Katisha, when you say suffering from your sins, they're not your sins.
not my sins, but somebody else's? I mean, you're right. But at the same time, the things that I've been through, my kids are going through. And these are the things that I've never wanted to fall in their laps. I've never wanted this for my children.
Right. So everything that happened to you and that happened to you as a child, that's not their fault. I mean, you. I mean, it's not their fault for what you went through as a child.
Oh
The
no,
problem.
I'm not blaming my children for this. Listen,
No,
they
no, no,
have
no,
no.
no, 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 no. I know you're not. The problem is, and I know you don't want to hear this, and this could probably be another show, sometime down the road. But we live in a country where the system, no matter what system it is, it's messed up. It doesn't work for everyone. It's supposed to be a system that's supposed to, work for everyone. And systems don't work for everyone. And unfortunately, you and your children are now caught up in something, that you as the parent, you're going to have to figure it out, and it's hard.
Yeah, and I'm solely by my, you know what I'm saying? I have the support of my husband, and I'm very thankful for him. He's been holding me, you know what I'm saying? He's been trying to keep me grounded throughout all of this, even all the way in Connecticut. He's been trying to keep me grounded. And it's times that I can't, I just feel like I want to give up, but I have to look at myself and say, I didn't bring these kids in this world to give up on them. I didn't. This.
I'm gonna ask a couple of questions because and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna say this first.
Go
The
ahead.
things, and I know that they're trying to get away because they never dealt with that. They've only been with you. But the things that they're doing, if you can reach out to them to kind of tell them to just, unfortunately, stick it out, because that makes it look like your kids are a problem. They're problem children, and I know that the system is fucked up and it's bad, and it makes it's hard as a parent, but you have to somehow reach out to them and tell them to stop doing what they're doing,
I
because
talk to my children every day, and my son told me, "Listen, I re-enrolled back to go get my bachelor's because of my son." Okay, he said to me, if he had to stay there and he had to be good, that I had to go back to school. And I was in here soaking in my depression, partially doing my job at work. You know what I'm saying? Because I got an at-home job because I didn't want to go outside. I've been ordering Instacart because I don't want to go to the grocery store. Things like that. I've caught my own self in my depression. And my oldest son said that if he had to be good and stay there, that I had to go back to school. I talk to my, whether my kids got to get a can and a straw to talk to me, they going to talk a can and a string. They going to talk to me, honey. They do every day.
woo, yes,
Uh,
you gonna
man,
make me cry, girl. You gonna make me
I'm telling you what I know. Listen, I love my kids. I'm gonna tell you something. When I grab my kids and I hug my kids until my heart beat in sync with theirs so we can love each other the right way, okay? Them mine.
yes.
Loving me on the outside of me. You ain't gonna tell me I don't love mine.
Woo,
It's just was it that's my fairy tale. It was to be a mama to my children, raise them all under the same roof, right here with me.
oh, Lord, you gonna make me cry, girl. You gonna make me
And if
cry.
I every day, if I gotta walk, if I got to write, if I got to type, if I got to spend 10 cents at doggone Office Depot or Office Max, whatever you want to call it, to keep getting damn copies, I'm gonna do it. But
Yes.
somebody has to see that I'm not the only one. I am not the only one. Y'all ethics for who y'all supposed to be. A guardian ad litem naturally a volunteer. You volunteer to make a change in a child's life. You're making the wrong damn change for mine.
Ooh, Lord,
You're
you
supposed to
say
be
that.
bettering these people. That young man right there is gonna be your future. Look at how you treat in your future. You must ain't got no kids at home, or your kids may not love you the way mine love mine, and you might be a little jealous, but you ain't gonna get away with this, baby. And I don't care who got my blood in them, who doing what. Any of my family, I guarantee you, he who cries first, last. Y'all remember that, right? I've been crying this whole time, baby. I can't wait because I don't care who you are. If you've hurt my kids in the process, I guarantee you, you will reap what you sow.
You I don't I know it was a reason for me to come here. I know it was a reason, and I, I'm lost for words. Y'all know I usually have some stuff to say, but I'm torn and I'm lost for words because I will be under somebody's prison if this ever, because
I've
I
been there
can burn
personally,
this
and I've
shit
been
down.
raising my kids, man. Let me tell you something. I went to my 17th birthday gift was a trip from DJJ to South Carolina Department of Corrections, and I promised myself if I ever had babies, I would change my life. All three of my babies came off birth control. The first one came off the patch, the second one a shot, and the third one an implant. And I tell you what, when I see me loving me on the outside of me, I wouldn't give it up for the world.
Mm.
Okay, so welcome, Chill, and an official welcome to Crucible Man, and Feisty One. So you know, Katisha, we'll look forward to getting some type of update from you. But Mimi, do you have any last words that you can give Catisha, and then Catisha, I'll let you have the last word. Mimi, do you have any last words that you can possibly give her or advice or anything?
That was one of my advices to, tell them to by all means, and I know that's hard, but they're gonna use that against them kids, unfortunately. And if they continue to act out how kids do, um, they will use that. So you have to tell them to kind of, be humble until you can come and get them. But by any circumstances, by no circumstances, they shouldn't be running away and stuff like that. Because now you got them running away, and now they saying, okay, well, he had drugs in the system. Even
Said
if
that
it's
before.
not true. So you got to tell them to kind of be humble until you can get to them. That's one of my you know um advice to you. And another advice to you, my prayers and stuff go out to you. I'm definitely, if that's the last thing I do, my daughter's birthday tomorrow, but if that's the last thing I do, I'm going to pass this information along. And like I said, they will reach out to you. Tam is her name. And it's another young lady that come on my live. I can't think of her name right now, but they will reach out to you to try to get you some type of assistance. If they can't help you, they know other people. Um,
I
that
even
can
filed a
help
civil
you.
complaint. I filed a civil complaint. I got a letter yesterday saying that in my email saying that my complaint had been closed. They didn't want to do any more further investigations. I had reached out to the national. I didn't reach out to them. They reached out to me, National Action Network, and they called me and they said that this DHHS. Why would you ask that? They said that they're in the same building as DSS. How can they not get paid there? Because they're telling me that they couldn't get no paperwork or nothing from DSS. You know what I'm saying, to look over my case. My thing is that you guys override them. How you can't go in your system and take what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you think that it's wrong, they're not investigating because they say they don't have no paperwork or no nothing to investigate. And I've done that. I've done that since August, and now I'm just getting stuff back saying that they are closing the case because they don't want to no further do the investigation. I reached out to the
Well,
ACLU, pretty
well,
much everybody.
well,
Man, listen, I'd have been
once
it.
they
The next time, man, listen. I know this is a bad thing to say, but the next time my motherfucking kids run away, we getting the fuck up out this state. Now come get them from me. I
I
guarantee you, y'all
was
gonna
on my
have to take them from me.
I was on my way, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie. If I could have found my youngest son, I was on my way to do so. Because ain't no, I felt some type of way for Thanksgiving that my oldest and my youngest got to spend time together. And I had 3 kids. Ain't no way I ain't gonna see 3 kids be together and spend time with each other. But my kids had been away from each other for 156 days, and the reunion between the victim and the predator, so called. You understand what I'm saying? Left me to know that I can trust my kids with anything, honey. Because I listen, my daughter didn't talk to me for a week because I kept telling her, did I miss something? You know what I'm saying? I kept asking her. And she was like, why would you keep asking? Could you stop? You know what I'm saying? And she's 7. She really got upset with me. But I've lost you guys because of this. Did I miss something? You know what I'm saying? I've been through this. I've been on that. I've been the victim. I know I ain't been the victim. I am the victim. Okay. I am the victim of things like that. And I didn't know how to go about telling somebody because nobody believed me anyway, because my dad was just such this amazing guy. Like right now, my dad is married to a pastor, the same pastor who I told that he was molesting me at 13. And guess what? She's the chaplain at DJJ, the place that I graduated from to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? And you think that she did anything? Nah, my door couldn't shut while my dad wasn't home, but as soon as he got home, it could shut. And I'm my dad's only child.
Oh, okay. Again, Mimi, you're right. There was a reason why you came on this show. And again, I said, if Katisha can reach just one person who can possibly help her, and Mimi, you are that person. I apologize. I am going to have to end this show. I usually don't do shows on Friday, but Katisha, I hope this will be posted, and I hope that when people listen, they'll be able to reach out, and not only with Mimi, but maybe other people will be able to reach out and find out ways to help you. So with that, again, Mimi, I sent you some information on separately on another platform, and you should get that. But Catisha, thank you for coming on and telling your story.
All right, thank you, Catisha. I'll reach out to you. If I don't reach out to you, she will be reaching out to you. Either one, um, somebody will be reaching out, whether it's me or the person I'm passing the information along to.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it, and thank you, Solid Blue, for letting me share my story. I appreciate. This is what I needed. I just needed one. And that's all you
and
need
and
sometimes.
and, that is what we were talking about. You only need one, and keep us updated and let us know what happens with the senator that you reached out to, if they get back to you on Tuesday. So with that, everyone, thank you very much for coming in and listening. And thank you for coming on and giving the comments that you did, Mimi, of course, and everyone. So I will be back on Monday, and until then, go where the wind takes you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. And Mimi, I hope everything is going well with you with your new job. I hope that's going well. And Frankie, thank you very much for the pod beans. And to everyone else, thank you for liking the show. I do appreciate it. And Juju, as always, thank you for being my admin. I appreciate you too, as always. Okay, you guys, enjoy your weekend. Bye.